So welcome friends. In this video we will talk about river Ganga and its tributaries. So this is our master map. Now what we can do is on our reference map or on a sheet of paper we can just draw the course of this river and mark these rivers. That will help us remember the locations, the relative locations of these rivers, and the map would relatively be simple because we would see that it's easier to mark, because if we know one or two places, famous places which are located, and if we can identify the name of that place, the name of that town, or the name of or the place of origin, we can definitely mark this river, because whenever a tributary of that river is to be asked, we know that we have to make that tributary, take it along and make it join with the mainstream, that is Ganga, and take it all along to its mouth. Otherwise it will be a wrong representation. If we just draw one particular river where it joins and we end it here, it would be perceived as an inland river. That is a wrong notion. So this is the Ganga map. We are familiar with its course and flow. So it is the largest and longest river completely present inside India. We know that it is formed from 6 head streams and there are 5 confluences. It's Bhagirathi, which is considered to be the source stream because it flows from Gomukh, and it is named Ganga after Tributaries, where Bhagirathi meets Alaknanda, and then river Ganga enters the plain at Haridwar. So the head streams of river Ganga: Bhagirathi, you know that it rises at the foot of Gangotri glacier. Over here it has been marked. So somewhere around here its origin is located. We can note important place. Badrinath is located over here. Badrinath peak, and it flows alongside it where Gangotri. Then it flows with Uttar Kashi. So it's the head stream of Ganga meeting Alaknanda at Tributaries. The important projects that are located are the Tehri project and the Koteshwar project. These projects can also be asked to be mapped. Now let's talk about the second head stream, the Alaknanda river, located over here. Now it rises near the Niti Pass at the border with Tibet, and its main tributaries are Pindar and Mandakini. In fact, there are 2 glaciers, the Satopant and Bhagirath Karak, which actually feed its water. And we know that Badrinath and the Tapt Kund also lie along its banks. They are important tourist places. About Lake Satopant, it's a triangular lake located around 4,400 meters height, and because it's triangular in shape, it represents the Hindu trinity of Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. So Pindar river, it originates near the Nanda Devi peak, somewhere around here, Pindar. So it from near the Nanda Devi peak and joins the Alaknanda at Karnaprayag. In fact, we can quickly revise what are the confluences. So we have Alaknanda joining Dhauli Ganga at Vishnu Prayag. We have Alaknanda joining Nandakini at Nandaprayag. Then Alaknanda joins river Pindar at Karnaprayag. Then it joins Mandakini at Rudraprayag, and finally Bhagirathi at Tributaries. Now we shall move to the tributaries of river Ganga. focusing on the left bank tributaries sequentially. The first is the Ram Ganga. It flows around the Kumaon region, very famous region in the Uttarakhand. And an interesting fact is that this river is fed from some underground reservoirs also. Geographically, we can understand why. So, the important cities that are located, Moradabad and Bareilly. So, if we have to mark the flow of that river, it becomes easier for us. Ram Ganga. Now, it rises in the Garhwal district of Uttarakhand and joins Ganga near Kannauj, an important historical city. And we know that it's an often asked question that which river flows through the Corbett National Park. It is the Ram Ganga. Gomti River. The name has been given because it originates from Gomat Tal near Pilibhit district of UP. So the Gomti River, an important river of Uttar Pradesh, which can be marked. Lucknow is located on it. So it rises from the Pilibhit districts and irrigates the Awadh plain. That is, you can also say the plain between Ghagra and Gandak, Gomati, but it extends beyond that. Now, Karnali, and which is also known as Ghagra, it originates near it's one of the streams which originates somewhere around from the Lake Mansarovar region, and we know two other important rivers also. So, originates near Gurla Mandhta Peak, which this will not be asked, so we can just write it if we are interested in the details. South of Mansarovar in Tibet. In western Nepal, it is known as River Karnali. Its major tributaries are Sharda, Sharju, and Rapti. And it meets Ganga a few kilometers downstream of Chhapra. So, in this map, we can identify somewhere around it joins. It is not clear here, so we will understand when we see the another clipping. So, River Rapti, which is a tributary of Ghagra. See how it goes, and here near Chhapra in Bihar it meets, and both these rivers Rapti and Ghagra form the boundary, and that's why we can understand why this incised type of boundary exists between UP and Bihar. So important tributary of Ghagra. It joins the Ghagra downstream of Gorakhpur, just before it joins, somewhere around where it joins river Ganga. It is also called Gorakhpur's sorrow, and the tributary is Budhi Rapti. So many rivers have their, say for example, Budhi Gandak, or because it represents the old region where the stream was flowing. The important cities that are located are Shravasti and Gorakhpur, both important places. Then another important tributary is the Kali Sharda. So it originates from the Tibet near the Rakas Lake and flows between, it forms the natural boundary and is known as Kali in the Nepal section and Sharda in the Indian part. In fact, it is because there's a temple that is situated, and that place is called Kalapani, somewhere around the Lipu Lake Pass between the border between India and Tibet. It's a really famous place, and it also lies along the Kailash Mansarovar route, the old route that is there. It also passes through the Dudhwa National Park Then Saryu River, a historical river. So if we have to identify Saryu River, this is the Saryu River that is there, flowing through the city of Ayodhya. So it's a left bank tributary of river Ghagra and has a ancient significance. It mentions in the Vedas and Ramayana, and it is on Ram Navami, an important cultural attribute of this place, that thousands of people take a dip in this river, Saryu River at Ayodhya. River Gandak, which is marked over here. So we can observe it flows to the North Bihar district and joins the river Ganga near Sonpur in Bihar. So originates near the Tibet-Nepal boundary. It is also known as river Narayani in Nepal. And important tributaries are Kali Gandak, Badi Trishula and Mayagadi. So it flows between UP and Bihar. For some northern section, it also forms the boundary. Then Buri Gandak, as we saw, it was an old stream. It almost flows parallel to the stream, or to the Gandak stream, Buri Gandak stream. In fact, the Gandak canal that is there, it has connected both these streams to irrigate this region. This is also called in the ancient times the Tirhut region. So it originates from the western slopes of Sameshar Hills near the Indian-Nepal border, and it joins Ganga at Khagadia district. It is also known as Sikrahana in its upper reaches, and Motihari, Muzaffarpur and Samastipur all along this course lie along this river. Also, this is the river which flows through the Valmiki National Park, located here. So it forms the boundary between India and Nepal, and this forest, this national park continues. It's a international national park, transnational national park, sorry. So river Kosi, again we know, sorrow of Bihar. In fact, it is also called Sapt Koshi because it is also formed by 7 head streams. Sapt Koshi river. So the important streams are mainly the Arun, river Arun, Sun Koshi, Bhut Koshi, which are, all of them have their location in Tibet. And like we had seen, the Teesta river, all these streams, they flow from some of the highest regions. Some of these streams lie very close to the Kanchenjunga. Some of these streams lie very close to Mount Everest. So, and because of this, it has a lot of sediments, and it is called the sorrow of Bihar because it continuously floods. In fact, in about last 250 years, it has shifted its course about 120 kilometers east. So we can understand the distance. And the Hanuman Nagar barrage has been built in Nepal, both with Indian help. And it was this barrage was once damaged, due to which very large magnitudes, huge areas of Bihar were inundated, as this barrage is an earthen barrage but has been built at a significant as a strategic place to hold the river. Now river Bagmati, which is marked over here, a tributary of Kosi river. You can see in this highlighted region. So again, it's the same region. We get the Samastipur, Muzaffarpur, Darbhanga region. It has its streams divided into tributaries. So it It's a river of Nepal and India, and flows through the Kathmandu Valley and joins Kosi in India. It forms the Chokar Gorge in the Mahabharat range, which lies in Nepal. And important fact is Kathmandu is located on its bank. It is considered holy by both Buddhists and Hindus. Then Mahananda River. We can see this river located over here, almost the boundary between West Bengal and Bihar and Bangladesh too. So it is the last important left bank tributary of Ganga before it joins the Brahmaputra, and it rises in the Darjeeling district, important, and flows through the Mahananda Wildlife Sanctuary. So it's a short river, about 360 kilometers long, and mainly for a large course, it lies in India. So now we will go to the right bank tributaries. Mainly the left bank tributaries are in majority. The right bank tributaries, we know the most important one is Yamuna. And we should also know that Yamuna originally flowed towards the west, but due to the subsequent upliftment of Potwar Plateau, the Yamuna changed its course and it now joins Ganga. So it's very easy to mark Yamuna. Whenever we will draw Yamuna, we would also draw the head stream, that is Ganga, and then take it to its mouth. So it rises from the Yamunotri glacier and joins Ganga at Allahabad. In fact, the Yamunotri glacier is at a higher height than Gangotri, around 6,400 meters. So the place is called Bandar Pooch Peak, located in the Mussoorie range of lower Himalayas. And the tributaries, we know the Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, Kane, we will see them. Important cities located, some very ancient cities. And we know most of the rivers which are located, which we are studying, are heavily polluted because of the industries that are located, or because of the huge population that resides, and the untreated sewage, agricultural waste, etc. In fact, some of these rivers have become completely choked. So, river tones. You can see in this highlighted section. Probably not represented it here. So it rises from the Vindhyan range and joins Ganga a few kilometers downstream of Allahabad. In fact, after Allahabad, the river Ganga becomes too voluminous, and we can see that transition when it enters the plains of Bihar. It becomes really wide. Then river Son, and important river. We know that this river also originates from the Amarkantak Plateau, and two other rivers also originate from Amarkantak Plateau. First one is the Narmada, and the second is this Johila river. So this is the Son river, which joins just east of Patna. It's an important right bank tributary, and it flows between the Kamur Hills and Sonpar Hills. The Kamur Hills are the eastern extension of the Vindhyan ranges, and it forms various waterfalls and short border between Jharkhand and Bihar. The tributaries are Johila, Kopad, Rehand, and North Koel. So Kopad river has been shown. In fact, we can have a separate map for Son river along with its tributaries. That's the Kopad river. Very difficult to mark it in the atlas, and we will, if we have the length of this zone, if we can know how to draw the zone, we know that we can draw this. So it originates in the Sonhat Plateau in Chhattisgarh and receives water from Johila, Goini, Nuar rivers and meets zone at Bardi Khaipur village. So we have just have to give remember it faintly. If at all it is asked in the exam, that we should be able to locate it. Then Zohila River, important mainly because the place of its origin near the Amarkantak Plateau. So from Amarkantak Plateau, we know that it's a tributary of Son, and then Son joins Ganga. So tributary of Gopad, and one of the important project that is located is Bir Singhpur Dam, and an important habitation is Prakash Nagar. It has coal fields in its course. Obviously that region is heavily mined region, so we can also write about the implications that mining etc. has on a river and the ecosystem, the cultural and the ecosystem aspects. Then Rihand, marked over here, important because of the reservoir and the dam and the electricity, and also because we can give it an example. The river resources, the electricity, the irrigated water is shared between MP, Bihar and UP. So it's the most important tributary of Son. It rises from Ramgarh hills of Chhattisgarh and joins Son in the Mirzapur district near Vindhyachal. So the the water reservoir that is formed because of this dam is also known as the Govind Ballabh Pant Sagar. It can also be asked separately to mark. It would just lie at the border between MP and UP. And another important fact is the Tropic of Cancer passes through it. So the district is Sonbhadra. Sonbhadra district is also very famous one just because of the economic importance, and it's one of the old projects around. It was operationalized in the 1960s or 1962. The North Koel River, marked over here, flows along the Chota Nagpur Plateau. So this is the South Koel. This is the North Koel River. And here we have the Betla National Park. So this river also flows to the Betla National Park. It is the last important tributary of Son, which rises from the Chota Nagpur Plateau and joins the Son and Jharkhand-Bihar border. Rivers play an important role. They have most of the boundaries have been determined because of the rivers, and it passes through the Tropic of Cancer as well. You know that the city of Ranchi, it closely located to the city of Ranchi. So, and it also flows through the Palamu Tiger Reserve and the Betla National Park. They are both located. The Tiger Reserve is a part of this national park. An important city that is located is Daltonganj. Now let us talk about the tributaries of Hooghly, which is one of the distributaries of River Ganga. The Farakka barrage has been made at Farakka also transfers some of the water of River Ganga to Hooghly River, and one of the purposes was also so that the silting that was going on near the Kolkata port could be controlled, but it has led to certain complications. The floods in Bihar have been attributed to that heavy silt depositions in Farakka barrage. So we must note that. Now talking about Ajay River, it is this river located here. So it flows just north of the Damodar. So they are the tributaries of Hooghly. We don't have to mistakenly put them as the tributaries of Ganga. So it flows through Bihar, Jharkhand, and West Bengal. And an important fact is Shanti Niketan is located north of it. Also, a barrage, the Ajay barrage, is being built to tackle the floods and provide irrigated water, mainly to the Purulia district of West Bengal. Then Damodar River. We know the importance of this river. It flows through a rift valley. This is the location of Damodar River. It passes along the coal fields of Jharia, Dhanbad, Bokaro. So it was known as the Sorrow of Bengal, earlier known as the Sorrow of Bengal. And then Damodar Valley Corporation, the first multi-purpose project of India, was started along the Tennessee Valley Corporation lines. So there have been some advantages. For example, the floods have been controlled. The excessive erosion that was taking place has been controlled. But then there have been certain negatives. The area is now being intensively farmed because of the presence of irrigation water, and that has destroyed the natural vegetation in the forests of that region. Also, the floods, because it is also used to produce hydropower generation. The water, it is required that the reservoir capacity is full, so that the hydropower can be harnessed, and that means that when the monsoon arrives, we are left with very little capacity to store the excess water. So the important tributaries are Barakar, Konar, Jamunia, Ghari, etc. Then Roop Narayan River, located over here. So it flows north of the Jamshedpur town, south of Damodar, and the river which flows south of this Jamshedpur region is Suvarna Rekha, which we know, but it's not a tributary. So we'll focus on Roop Narayan. So the important city that is located is Bankura, and it's a tributary of Hooghly. All these three that we had seen are the tributaries of Hooghly, south of Damodar. And NH6, which connects Calcutta with Mumbai, passes over it. So an important fact, it's a small river, very big chances of it being asked, but just we're covering it so that it remains in our memory. So thank you.